Hi everyone, it's Barbara the Raspberry Stitcher. This is episode number 8. It is Saturday the 8th and it is Mother's Day weekend. So I hope everyone's having a fantastic, wonderful Mother's Day. I'm not sure how the weather is where you are. Today is sunny out, which is fantastic. Beautiful white clouds in the sky, blue sky, but it is cold. I think it's like in the 50s. I'm not sure how warm it's actually going to get today. I'm hoping maybe 60s. I don't know. Tomorrow it is only going to be like 42, 43, super duper cold, and I think it's supposed to be rainy, so happy Mother's Day to me. But I'm excited because I get to go see my son tomorrow. We're going to drive down and see him for a little bit, and then on our way back, I'm going to stop and see my mom for a little bit, so a fun-filled day. Today is a big day because my daughter is coming home from college. She is driving back with her roommate, and my husband is following them in a rented SUV. He flew down on Thursday. They drove all day yesterday for 12 hours from Texas all the way up into Arkansas, I believe they got to. And then they are already in Illinois right now, so they're on their way to Indiana and should be here around 5 o'clock tonight, depending on how long their lunch break stop takes them. So I've got to finish a few things up around here. I've got some bathrooms to clean, some sweeping to do, and some food to make for dinner. So it is a busy, busy day. I am going to record today. I'm not sure if I'll get it uploaded today. Maybe after dinner I can work on all of that. But if you don't see show notes in the bottom, I will be adding stuff to those in the next few days. If I don't have time, I'd rather at least get it up for you guys to watch. But I've got so many goodies to show you. I'm a little embarrassed about my haul, so bear with me. I'm gonna try to make it decently quick because I do have a lot of activities to do today. So let's get started with the sneak peek I gave you because I have some FFOs, one fully finished totally and one that's partially finished that I'm not really sure 100% what I want to do with, but I do have it sewn up into the pillow. I just don't have it fully made. So let's start with this one. So Heartstring Samplery, Brown Bird Bisque Renew. All of you have been following along. Very excited they got my stitching done. Sorry it has taken so long to actually get it fully finished, but here it is in all of its glory. I am so excited over this. I can't stop staring at it. It's beautiful. I learned a lot. So on the pattern, you cross stitch on each side there. Then I went ahead and did a back stitch and whip stitched them together. Basically, Tiny Mon Artist has a fantastic tutorial, so you should check that out if you're interested in Bisque Renews. She's got some great patterns too to make some. This one in particular is 101 by 101, and I stitched it on 40 count, so you can see it's a good size Bisque Renew, fits in my hand, and it is so beautiful. With hers, she does use a button to pinch hers together in the middle. Since this one is stitched, I talked to my friend Sarah and another Instagrammer who has just finished this too, and they used invisible thread. I did try that. Mine broke. My friend Sarah was like, double up on it, and it's like, well, I have a thicker one. I'm going to try it. So I used it. I will say the center, if you can see, isn't perfect. The stitches got a little bit messed up from pulling that tight. I think what I will do on the next ones is put a stronger interfacing in there so it has more heft in that section. So when you're pulling it together, it doesn't want to pull that fabric and stuff. And probably maybe I might have stuffed it a little extra, but I just wanted it to be so solid and it is so pretty. I'm so in love with it. So here it is. I'm excited. I really should get a turntable like Elizabeth Ann can stitch. I have one downstairs in my cupboard, but I should get one for cross stitch so I can spin it for you because this is so pretty. I basically used almost all the called for threads. I did have to switch out the apple cider, which was more of this color, which really wasn't brown. So my apple cider was a little more yellowy or ochre type color. So I did switch that out. But other than that, it is all the called for. And I used platinum like a 40 count to platinum, I believe. So there she is. So I'm very excited about that. The next one you guys have seen, I have a story. So I made a boo-boo. You know, everyone makes mistakes and there are ways to fix them. And it is traumatic when it happens. But if you can keep your cool, you hopefully can save your stitch piece. I was, you know, working on this piece, cutting out interfacing. I'm like, oh, well, I have my other one. So we're talking about waiting for the harvest, which I have just finished and I showed you guys last time. So I want to make that into a little pillow. I like to back mine with a light interfacing. So when I stuff it, it just gives it a little bit of stiffness and protects the stitches. So I think if it rubbed up against something, the stitches wouldn't just pull if somebody, you know, did something. So I went ahead and cut that, and I ironed the bisque new on first, and then I went to do this one, and I should have taken a picture of this afterwards so you guys could believe me, but I totally ironed the interfacing on the front. Take that in for a minute. Yes, the front. I flipped out. I was so stressed, but I tried to keep my cool. I pulled off as much as I could instantly. It does pull your stitches, and especially mine is 1/2 on 32 count, so it's pretty loose, and it's the old week space. It's Cappuccino by Weeks, and so then I Googled, and I also found out from a stitchy friend later there is something that you can use, but maybe not on your stitching. And they said get it wet, and you can iron some off, and if you get it wet, you can pull it off. So I meticulously took tweezers and, you know, needles and whatnot to pull off all of the interfacing, because not only is interfacing on there, but there's glue at the very end. And I thought, well, what have I got to lose by getting it wet and doing this? If it runs, it runs. I got to restitch it anyway. So I went ahead and I wet the whole thing, pulled everything off I could. I wet it again, and I actually ironed it. And from the iron and putting a towel over it, pulled up some of the glue off of the actual stitching. I had to not necessarily stitch. I didn't put any new stitches in, but the stitches that had come out or anything that was loose, I pulled from the back, and I ended up putting the interfacing on the back where it belongs to keep the stitching stable once I got it to a point where I liked it. So just know everyone makes mistakes, and take your time and double check what side you are putting anything on before you do it. Lessons learned. So here it is. I have got it into my pillow form. So I think it still looks pretty good. There are some light and dark spaces probably where the stitches were pulled, but I'm fine with it. I mean, it's more primitive looking anyway. Tell me what you think, but I mean, I think I saved it. So I just put this cute little fall, because I like more fall instead of just Halloween, backing on it. And I think what I'm going to use is some Lady Dot Chenille in Mossy. I'm not 100% sold on it yet. I may get something else, but I think, I know it matches the back really nicely, but I think that little trim will be kind of cute on there. Let me know what you think. Just a pale green. I mean, I've thought about getting maybe a dark brown, something dark brown. So I may look into that too, because I stitched this with espresso bean, which is a really dark brown. I know it looks like more like a black, but it is a very dark brown. And there is dark brown in the back too. So I don't have any of the other colors, so I might have to order a few things and just try it. But I would like to stuff this with the lizard litter. I haven't done that yet, so that I need to go buy some. I do not have any, but I think that would be a great finish for that one. So anyway, here we go. These are my two FFOs. So Brown Bird Biscornu, I can't stop staring at. And then my save, which is Waiting for the Harvest by Blackbird. So there you go. That was super fun. And I'm just happy that it's saved and I'm not stitching it again, because I think I wouldn't be stitching it right away. I'd have to wait. Be too traumatic. So let's move on. And since we were talking about Blackbird, I want to talk about Blackbird Weekend. And Brenda, the sampler stitcher, and Laura, the serial starter, have the, which everybody I think in stitching knows about, the Blackbird Weekend SAL that was just last weekend. So I participated in that and pulled out some of my whips that are Blackbird. And I want to show you those and what I'm going to pull out every month. And maybe I'll get something done, who knows? But these are the ones I have to choose from. I have one other. I am debating on actually pulling that whole thing out. I was doing it 2/2, and I really think it would be better 1/2. It is on a 32 count or even a 30, and I just think I would be happier with it. So I left that off for now, but I also wanted to say that my thoughts and prayers are with Brenda and her family with her medical issue, and it breaks my heart, and I know that she is a strong woman, and she's got great support, and just know we're all there for you and praying for you. So one that I worked on that actually I told you all was a finish. So I'm thinking I have finished, it's Spring Fever by Blackbird, the first one in the For the Bird series. And I'm watching another Flosstuber, and they're talking about, you know, all I had left to do were the Lazy Daisy stitches. And I'm thinking, I didn't do any Lazy Daisy stitches. Are there Lazy Daisy stitches in that? Why, yes, Barbara, there are. So I had to pull it out. I did not do them. And so for the SAL, I went ahead and finished the Lazy Daisy stitches, which are these little spots all the way around the border right there. So I now can say this is completed FO. You know, it's a good thing we watch Flosstube. We wouldn't know if we finished our pieces or not. Thought that was funny. So I do have the others kitted up in my beautiful bag. So maybe I'll move on to one of those. The next one I worked on, I just put a few stitches in, is I've also got the garden series going. I finished number 1. This is number 2, Apple Orchard. And I'm just working on the actual tree. And I started some of these leaves here. Just that's about all I got done one night. So I did that. And actually the first night I worked on it, and I have the rest kitted up in this bag too, this big bag. The first night that I worked on it, and actually I had posted which you know, Blackbird I should work on, and I got some great comments, and then of course Laura was like, all of them, and I go, challenge accepted. So I started working on almost all of them, a little bit, not a lot. So the next one is this one here, United We Stand. This is an exclusive right now. I would assume at some point this will be released, hopefully in the next year. I don't know, have no idea, no word. But all I got done on that one was just a little bit of this border. So I barely started this one, but it's really pretty. This is on, I believe, 40 count Ren. It could be 36. I don't know, but I know it's on Ren with All Weeks Dye Works floss that came with the kit. So it's all the called for. And I know some people have seen this finish, and I believe that Vonna had talked about doing this finish in the Primitive Stitcher magazine coming up in the summer. So I am excited to see how she does that and puts that together. And I'm looking forward to checking that out because I definitely want to try to do that finish also. All right, so next. And I'm just gonna, like, the first weekend of the month, that SAL is every first weekend of the month is the BBD Weekend SAL. And I believe that's the hashtag. So hashtag and join along. I'm going to be pulling those out. Even with my rotations, I'm going to do my best. You will see that the last few weeks have been difficult for stitching. I definitely, the Biscornu took a lot of my time. Doing that all the way around, whip stitching those, I had to have extra magnifiers to see and make sure that I was getting every stitch along the way and that I wasn't off. I actually started, when I started, actually did start one off and I had to take that half a section out. It wasn't very much and I realized it and then restart it. But once I got in the right spot, it just was making sure I was on every single stitch along and around the corners and just taking my time since I've never made one of those before. That was a couple of nights worth of stitching, just getting it to the point of just one of these flaps left open, but the rest of it was all stitched. And then going back after I stuffed it, stitching that together, then a third night, and doing the pinching it together and pulling it to make it the shape of the Biscornu. So that took up a lot of time. Finishing is no joke. When you do it, you got to have time because you really need to take your time. And obviously, I didn't on my finishing, but saved it. All right, next, I'm going to show you my haul. I might go through it a little quick. I am going to try to put some links down in the bottom of the places that I got these items. It's just all random. So a friend of mine had gotten these beautiful, beautiful strawberries from Under the Woolen Willow. So here it is. And I had to get some. She showed a finish with them. And so I went to her site. She still had a few left. And I know there's a strawberry club you can join with her, but these were just ones that I bought. And they're made out of chenille and the felt tops and the twig sticks at the top and the little ties. And they're just absolutely adorable. And I'm totally in love with them. Somebody else showed some in a little tray and they had 3 more on the other side. And I'm like, oh, now I want 3 more. She doesn't have any up right now. I don't know if she's going to have more of these, but they're absolutely beautiful. So I'm excited to get those out for display now that I've shown you. So I'm very happy with those. I was in my Zoom class with my remote stitchers. It's what we call ourselves. And I had already had one thing on in Amazon kind of like sitting there. And it was these little, see if I can put something behind this. These little pins to put on your pillows. I had a few. And so I bought a whole big bag of those. So I literally have a giant bag that I bought of those. Those were already in there. So that's just something I added. But we're going to be going on a retreat. There's about 18 of us that are going to go to retreat in September at Whistle Stop and just hang out together, meet each other in person for most of us the first time. We met at a retreat that Sassy Jacks put on, the soiree last September. And we decided to keep Zooming, and we have been Zooming on Sundays and Wednesdays and just really getting to know each other, doing the exchanges that I showed previously. So we're going to actually, get together and just spend about 3 days together there. I think we're checking in on Thursday, so on Friday, Saturday, and we're leaving Sunday. So we're going to just stitch and eat and just have a really good time. So for the retreat, I decided I had to go out and get the Halo Glow light. So as you can see, I know most of you probably already have this. I already had a light, but it had to be plugged in. Really wanted something more portable. It didn't lay as flat as this. It did lay flat, but really nice light. If you haven't checked this out, it's really wonderful. It's the Halo Go, very bright. And then of course with it, I had to, so when you buy this on Amazon, it cracked me up because the item that it suggested to buy with it was the knitting needle case to put it in that everybody has been putting their Halo Glow in. So it zips all the way around. I got the gray one, has pretty floral inside, little bag. I was actually able to I took it over to my sister-in-law's last night because our washer broke. That was another issue I've had. So I am without a washer, so I've been going over there, which means I don't have as much time to do other things. When you're at the house, you can just throw loads in and stitch and do other stuff, and that's not happening right now. So I actually took that over, and it's great. I was able to put that in there. I was actually able to put the Bitsy Bot in there. So it was like all compact together. And then along with it, I bought the Halo Bolt ACDC battery, the charger. So this charger, you can actually charge your car with it. So many people have talked about this too. It's great. It has a plug-in on one side, so you can plug in. It has the 2 ports right here. This one is for your car. It comes with these small jumper cables. It even has a light on the side. I'll turn it sideways, but there's a light on the side that you can use. So it's fantastic, and each section has its own power button. So if you're only using this section here, this is the only power button you turn on. And then if you're only using the plug-in, you can separately turn the plug-in section on. So that's kind of nice, so you're only using what you need. So I got those couple of things to take to the retreat because I figure I'm gonna need them. So now let's get into real like stitchy stuff. I had a great find. I was trying to think. It was on, I think, one of my Facebook groups. She had a live, and I can't remember who it was, but I'll go back and look, and I will put it in the drop-down menu because you can watch it. But she went through the Schoolgirls Workbook by Barb and Alma for the Spencer Museum of Art. So I had to go out and find that. I will say, this is not in print. I believe it can be expensive. I was very lucky and found it at, let me cover up some of my stuff on here, Half Price Books, which we have these in Indiana. I don't know if they're all over, they're out of Texas, but I was able to get it pretty cheaply. There are 10 different patterns in here, so it's all about the some of the samplers that are at that museum. So there's a whole history about the different samplers for the first part, and then about halfway through the book or a little more, there's a whole section on projects that Barb and Alma have in here. And let's see if I can get this one. So that pillow, this one on the back. So some of them are, medium sized. I wouldn't say there's any large size to small size. They have a floss ring, little one you can make. So I was lucky. I think I ended up getting it shipped and everything for about $47. I think a lot of places I looked, there was even up to almost $100 for this book. And I will say, this book might have been used at like a college because there's you can still feel a little sticker gunk there, which I can clean off. But otherwise, this doesn't look used at all. Like it hardly even looks opened. I was very impressed since it was a used book, basically, not brand new. The only thing that's on it is there was like a price right here. So I was excited to get that. I got an order from Kitten Stitcher. She, going along with Blackbird, because we start talking about Blackbird and the weekend SAL and blah, 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 then you just want to start buying some Blackbird that you don't have. So that is partly what I did. So from Kitten Stitcher, I ended up getting the one of the items I really wanted from Expo, which was Stacy Nash's pin keep here, the cottage sampler one. I am in love with that. So I had to get that. And then of course I had to get the Ultimate Sampler motif book, which everyone has shown. So I needed to get that. So those are there. Then the rest of them I got from her are some just different Blackbirds that I didn't have, and I just thought, let's just get them now, and that way I have them in my stash. So I got Our Lasting Friendship, Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day. I got Christmas Rose, which was recently released. I didn't have that one. I have the others, and I have stitched one of those. All Joys for Thine, which now I'm concerned maybe I do have this one. So if I do, it may be a future giveaway. I don't remember. I have to look. The Ooh La La book. Had to have that after my friend stitched the this one for me in our exchange. So I knew I would love the rest of them if I love that one. And I think, what is this one? Blossoms and Blossoms as the Rose. So I've really loved this one for a long time. So I got those. Like I said, I don't think I have most of those. Hopefully I don't have that one. And then I also, Theresa put in this lovely freebie. So that was really nice. And then also I ended up getting Hannah Ann Wallace because, you know, I just couldn't help myself. The colors are beautiful. And that is what I got from Kitten Stitcher. All right. I got my fabric of the month. I thought I would show you that. That is from Needlecraft Corner, and I get a 36 and a 40. These are fabrics by Stephanie, and this is Vanilla Latte. It's beautiful. You can see this is the 36. It's a little creamier, but both of them are very creamy and pretty. Actually, both of these would look really good with Jessie Watson. If you ever want to stitch that and you don't know the color, this color would be perfect for that. And she always packages it really nice. I got this fun ribbon because it was the Easter one. And she sent along always a little freebie, and I get two because I get two fabrics. So these are just those little highlighters that you can use to highlight your charts with, which is fantastic. I'm really excited to use those actually. I really wanted to get one out, and I try to show you guys everything first. And I couldn't remember if I joined this club or got in the club, but I did. So it came. So it's the Dying to Stitch Quaint Ladies Club kit. It's by Pineberry Lane. And this probably will be my first Adam and Eve sampler. I do not have any. I'm not as drawn to them, but this one is really pretty and simple, and I like it. So that is going to be on Winter's Brew, R&R. And they needed, since this is a full sampler instead of the smaller kits, we did a couple of full skeins. And then to make it affordable, they do a great job and put all the rest of the floss on here. And I just went ahead and put the names and the chart symbols, because I like to put my chart symbols on my threads. That way I don't have to look at anything other than the chart. That's one of the things I like to do. I decided to finally buy all of the Summer Schoolhouse lessons by Brenda Gervais. So I got all of these. There are 4. I love these. These are stitched on 28 count 1/1. I have a friend, at least one friend, who has stitched these, and I've seen them and they're gorgeous. This was years ago. She did these years ago. So I finally broke down and bought all of those. Very happy to get those. And then somebody new I bought from is JensStitchingNiche. I'm sure many of you bought from her. She was great. I've been following her on Instagram, and she said she got some picture this plus in, and I thought, oh, I need some of that for the sewing book club. Again, Blackbird on my mind because that's what everyone's talking about. So I decided to get some of that. So I got some Heartland 32 count for the sewing book club, and I got 36 doubloon, so you can see the difference. And then I got some, let's count it, 32 ancient. Okay, there you go. You can see that color variation. And then just for myself, as I wanted to try it, I got some 40 in Bramble. So that's really pretty. See that up against those, it's a lot lighter. So I got all of those. Joe was excited to get those. And then she had the new Classic Colorworks in a little pack together. So I got a pack of those. So we've got the vanilla custard, the chocolate mousse, and the baking tin. All baking themes. So those are really nice. And then after I had bought the first Stacy Nash, I thought I can't pass up the second Stacy Nash release. So I went ahead and got Be Kind Sampler because, you know, hopefully if you've been watching, you know that that's my little phrase. I just think people need to be kind. I think we all need to be kinder and be more understanding. We never know what people are going through, you know. And then I had seen this was a release, I think, maybe last fall. Yeah, October 2020, and I liked it then. I don't know why I didn't get it, but I didn't. But it's by Heartstring Samplery. It is the Ding Dong Merrily on High, and I love both of them. I mean, I love this. I love that church, and I love this. So I might actually do both at some point. And I've been watching Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, and she's been stitching the blue flower, Wildflowers, and I'm totally in love with it. So Elizabeth Ann, here you go. You have enabled me to watch or buy Wildflowers, and I'm totally watching your progress on this one because it's so pretty. This one might have to become a start at some point soon. I got to earn another start, but you'll see I'm making some good progress on one of those. And then I had an order into 123 Stitch. A friend of mine has slowly been working on a project, and that'll come toward the end because then it's another reason of something else I bought. So like I said, I'm a little embarrassed by everything I've bought recently. It's going to put a halt on any more buying for a bit. But the Kitten Stitcher is stitching this. A bunch of other people are stitching this. So I got the GGR Cirrus, what is that? Southward. And of course, when the first time I saw somebody stitching it, this is just that whole right there. I love. I kind of wonder if I even will do the whole sampler. I thought about doing the band at the top as a drum, and maybe doing this as a drum. I don't know. We'll see. But I bought it. I love her samplers. I love GGR samplers. So I got a couple other things while I was there that I had on my wish list of that I knew I needed. And I was actually waiting for them to get in because they're a great source to get the Jeannette Douglas floss pack. So I got Blooming Bouquets number 5, so I got the floss pack for it. And then of course I had to pick up number 6, and I got the floss pack is in the back for this one. And this one is totally, probably this next one I'll do, because the colors, the purples and the mauves in there are totally colors I love. And then I've been looking for this. I almost bought it a while back, but my daughter loves turtles, so I wanted to get this. I'm probably going to stitch the whole thing, or both of them, or parts of them. I'm not really sure, but the Prairie Squirreler, the tortoise and the hare, because this makes me think of her. I don't know why. And then this was, it's going to be crinkly because I'm not going to take these out of the package, but I never thought I would want to stitch these, and a few people have been stitching them. Stitching in Costume has been stitching it. My one friend has been stitching it. I've watched other people stitch them. People have talked about them forever, and it is the Unffindell sisters. So I got the charts. Then on my Zoom with my stitching friends, they were talking about that Vicki Clayton had made a conversion for Anne and that she was going to do Isabella. So we were checking in with her to see, and I messaged her and she said, "Oh, I'm finishing that today. I'll have them posted tomorrow." Literally the next day at 7 in the morning when I was doing my Zoom for my SAL, the Autism, Jessie Watson Autism SAL, right before I got on, she messaged me and said, "I just posted them." So guess what? I bought all the silk threads from Vicki. I haven't even opened them for those two. I have no idea when I'll start them. I do have some unexpected, not unexpected, I bought it, but I didn't realize when I wanted a certain color from X2 Design. And the only thing she had, and I'm pretty sure it's a full yard because the price would equate to a full yard. Think about a full yard. But I think this color will be perfect for both of those. If not, then I think it would be great for Heartstring Sampleries, 2 big ones, the lilies, and the other one, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I still have actually that fabric coming. That has not gotten here yet. I know it's shipped, so we'll have to see where it's at. Hopefully it gets here soon. But I think I bought a full yard. Didn't realize it, but that's all right. It's a beautiful color. I'm very excited to get it. I talked about it last time, so we'll show it to you. That, I believe, is all the haul. It was a lot. I'm so sorry. So I want to talk about Jessie really quick. I'm just going to show a quick thing. And the reason I'm going to talk about it, normally I'm just going to talk about it on my monthly ones, but I'm talking about Jessie Watson. I'm doing a SAL, Jessie Watson Autism SAL on Instagram. And I'm having, once a month, I'll be doing an update, a special edition Flosstube for it and talking about autism awareness. And then I'm going to be continuing doing some Facebook room chats and stitch-along stitching time. So even if you're not doing the Jessie Watson one, if you want to come stitch with us, come stitch with us. It was really fun. Last time I had 2 from Australia. I had Nikki from Nikki's Noodle, and I can't remember the other lady's name right now. Oh, I'm so sorry. I had some other people show up. It was really fun. Stitching and Costume showed up in the evening. So I actually did an early one and a late one to get some of those. I think maybe the best thing would be even the later one, just doing it maybe even an hour earlier and doing it from my time, like from 6 till whenever. And then people can just join when they want to and just kind of block that off for like 4 hours or something for just some good stitching time. So join us if you want to. I'm just going to show quickly, I've broken this the sampler up into sections because we're going to do it for a whole year. And we're going to end with the heart because that's my favorite part of the whole piece. But Melissa, she's on Instagram and she's stitching along. She's doing the SAL. And it's Stitcher Mel, by the way. So I'm going to thank you because she noticed, and thank goodness I wasn't all the way across, she noticed that my border that I was stitching here is supposed to be 3 up and down, not 2. So it would be off. So I'm going to have to take that out, that little bit there, which isn't too much, but I'm very thankful that she said something because I would have been really upset if I kept going and was like, why am I off? What's going on? Because that side border, I don't have this part in to really reference, and with it just being a straight stitch, you don't realize that you're going to be off on the next one. So I would probably have realized it once I got this border more in. So maybe I need to make sure I put those borders in and make sure I'm correct. Anyway, thank you so much, Melissa. I was so thankful that you told me because, you know, so I might be taking that out later. We'll see. So we're going to move on to the next item I would like to get finished, an FO. I have started the year with about 37 whips, and my goal is to get the whips cut down, hopefully in half. So for every 2 whips that I finish completely FO, not FFO, but at least FO, finish stitching, I can have a new start. So I'm not doing a no new starts here, but a very limited new starts here. And it's killing me with all these SALs and starts that people are doing because I really want to start them all. Anyway, so the next one that I am working on, which is on 36 weeks gunmetal, is the Stacy Nash house on Pumpkin Hill Penkeep. And last time I, had started up in here, I don't even know if I think I might have had the outline of the leaf done, but now I have the house done and that leaf done. And so next I can go up into there. So actually most of the time I spent stitching, when I had time stitching, I stitched on that. I am using almost all the called for, but I did change this out to roasted marshmallow. And hopefully you can see my roasted marshmallow has some good variegation in it. So I think the pumpkins look really nice in that, or will, the rest of them. So this is where I am. And I've actually, I guess I did do that leaf up there too. Forgot about that. So I'm enjoying this actually. So what I'm doing with this is, it doesn't necessarily on a particular day, but at least a few times a week, what I'm trying to do is spend an hour or two on that first, and then go on to my large samplers that I have slated for that day. All right. I think I just misplaced my notes. They're there. Okie dokie. So let's look at the rest of my whips. First, I'm going to show you every month I rotate in another larger, pretty much sampler or project that I'm working on. Most of them are samplers. Last month for Autism Awareness Month, I did Emily's house, and I did a little bit more stitching on this before I put it away. So I wanted to show you the last time I had all the border done, and I actually realized I'm still off on the border, but it's going to be okay. I don't think anyone can tell. I just need to center it. So I started, I believe, this flower down here and some of the words. So I just wanted to get that in and see. So I'll show you that before I put it away. There we go. And this is on 36 count Oaken. And it's looking beautiful. I really, really, really like it. A lot. So here is the whole piece. I love those blue flowers. So I'll be excited to get back to that when I get there. It's going to be a little while, but it's all right. And I bought this as a whole kit, so I'm using all the called for everything on this. I did have to buy some of the DMC. She does use, Lindy is great about mixing in a lot of different DMC with overdyes, so which is enjoyable. So this month, the one that I am bringing in is Theresa Colgate's Newcastle Bouquet. I did a tiny bit on this last night while I was watching Magnum PI. I don't know if you guys watch that. Just brings me back to kind of childhood and watching those kind of shows that you can just like turn on, and I can stitch and still watch them. I don't need to necessarily watch the TV, but you know what's going on, and it's just mindless, fun TV. I don't know. Anyway, tell me what you think. They keep getting rid of some of those shows, and I really like them. So I worked down, I think in this bottom corner here. I've done most of this down this side, and now I'm filling all of these flowers in here. I've got the outline in, and I am just working on filling in the flowers. So last night I literally just worked on the green here, these greens, just doing all the green on that. So I'll continue to fill that all in. And then once I get that filled in, I'll have one whole basic side done. And this is on 40 count straw with the Zweigart base. It's all the called for colors in the chart. She's a biggin. So once I get that done, and that's probably the only thing I get done. I really have high hopes to start some of either the lettering or, you know, flower motifs, or maybe come down and start on the bird. I don't know if I'll get that far, but we're going to talk about that later too. It just motivate how to stick with a plan. I had a plan at the beginning of the year. It was going really well. The last few months have definitely been harder. I do know, as I said in my last Flosstube, summer is a hard time for me to stitch. There's so many other things I like to do. I like to be outside in the garden. I do have a lot of gardening things I need to do, especially because last year we had a sewage backup, and they had to dig up my whole front flower garden, and I had just redone it during quarantine, and I was in tears, like the mound of dirt that was there when I came home, and the man standing in the hole, you know, up to his chest. It was just a little too much for me to handle after I had just been, I can't even tell you how much time, energy, money, and plants, and laying the stone edging by myself on my own, pretty much. My sister-in-law did help me pull weeds and some things like that, but most of the rest I did on my own, and it just broke my heart. So now I'm gonna get it back to that this summer again. So the next one I put a few stitches in is Though He's Seen Us Sleeping, and there is a Facebook group for this. I would encourage you, if you like the sampler, to join that Facebook group page. People are showing their starts, their conversions, their finishes. It's just really neat to see all the different versions of this pattern. So this is my conversion that I did. There are some called for, and then there are some swap outs that I did because I like mauves and purples better. I don't really have the oranges in there. And I even have some limited edition flosses, like that one right there is limited edition. So I ended up putting in the next row. Hi, I'm back. My computer is running out of room, so I had to delete a few things. So let's try this again. So we're talking about Though He's Seen Us Sleeping, and I did just those little bit of letters. Sorry, I've got my floss across there. But that is all I got done. Not too much. But I did put a few stitches in it, so I thought I would show you. And then next, which I'm very happy to have this section done for the Holland Sampler. I finished all the darning section, so I had up to somewhere in here. I don't know if I think I had started this one, so I finished it, and I did this one here the other night when I was on another Zoom with some other friends that had met through Friend Stitch. So here you go. So those look really nice. And when you start one of these, it's just best just to keep going with it and get it finished. Because as soon as you learn the pattern or learn the path, it's just so much easier to do. And this is on 32 count. It's a Weigert light mocha, light mocha. It is the called for, so here's the whole thing. Bring it in a little so you can see it. But I love how this is looking. And this is like kind of refreshing I love Jeannette Douglas patterns, period. But it's kind of refreshing because I do stitch on 46 and 40 and 36, and to stitch on a 32 and do some of the specialty stitches, it's just kind of refreshing and fun to do. I enjoy it. I know some people don't, but I really, really do. The last one I'm going to show you is Anne Morrison from Hands Across the Sea. I am trying to keep up with the SAL, but I am definitely behind. This little row right here is taking me forever because it's solid stitching, and I just don't know why. But I'm almost done with the green. So as you can see, that's what I have. The lettering all done and started on that row, and I'm still stitching on it. So that's all right. I'll just keep going with my progress. And that is on a 46 count Dixie Sampler Goblin King, but with the 103s. So, but that leaves a few that I did not stitch on at all, so I'm not going to show you them. I did not stitch on Jane, Winter Rose Manor, or Maria Higginson by Stacy Nash. So those three I did not stitch on, so you're not going to get to see them this time because there's really no point. Let's go ahead, and as you can see, I filled May out. I really haven't written a whole lot in there. I've been really bad about writing stuff down. I really just need to get back on track with being consistent and writing down what I'm doing right then. A lot of times I should just do it. Sometimes I stay up too late, and that's bad, and I just feel I'm tired. I'm like, oh, let's just go to bed. And I don't do it. And then it happens day after day. And then I forget what did I do that day? What did I do that day? So I know that many of you just stitch on what you want when you want. I like to have a plan. So I feel like things are a little sometimes stressful in other areas. So to have this planned out, like me planning it out and then I just do it, sometimes makes me feel better, and that I can just go forward and not have to think about what to stitch on, to just come and go, oh, I'm going to stitch on this today and just do it. So it might change though. Last year I tried different things each month to see what I would like, and I thought I would like this plan. I still want to stick with finishing 2 whips to get a new start. I don't want to change that, but I may halfway through the year decide, hey, maybe I will write them down as I do them instead of pre-planning what I'm going to work on. The reason I start pre-planning is I want to make sure I stitch on everything for at least 4 different days, or 4 sits, or 4 sessions, whatever you want to call it. That way I touch everything. So that's the only issue with that, is that I might have to keep some kind of tally count and be like, okay, I know I've stitched on this for 4 days already. I got to force myself to do something else. And I know some people are like, oh, why force yourself to do that? But otherwise, I'm not going to keep up with certain things. Like I've got to keep up with A, my own SAL. B, I'd like to keep up with Anne. I'd really like to catch up with that and not get behind. I definitely got behind with Jane. And I'm never going to probably finish that by July, which is when it's due by. And my plan is to definitely finish her by the end of the year. I would like to have her done by the end of the year. So, and then kind of maybe reassess. I thought about doing and seeing what you guys thought, maybe a kind of like, it'll be around my birthday. So kind of like a birthday bash, and kind of go through my whips, where I am, where I stand, what I've done, kind of reassess, and kind of do a mid-year, this is where I am, and, you know, going forward, and see if you guys want to see that or not. So let me know. That is about it. That is all I've got. I also want to, I might have to look it up. Let me grab this. I was just watching, I will do that. Yes, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and her husband had a major health scare, really almost passed away. And I would encourage all of you to go watch the short little video she put up. Prayers to her and her family. I can only imagine what she's gone through in the last week, and thank goodness he is home and doing better. And just prayers to her also and her family. Just never know when things are going to change in your life, when people might be taken from you. Recently here in our area, we had 2 seniors from prom night pass away, not due to anything they did. Somebody else hit them, and you just never know what's going to happen. And so just always let people know how you feel and what's going on, and take those moments and times to do and be with people and spend time with people over maybe other things in your life. Sometimes I think we get too caught up in working and making money and doing this and doing that, and just need to definitely take the time to spend time with your family and do those things. I've been making that conscious effort, especially with my mom this past couple of years. Her health has not been well, and that's one reason I want to go see her tomorrow. I miss her. It's been a little while. It's actually been a bit, so I want to get down and see my mom. She doesn't live too far. She's about an hour away, and my son's 2 hours, so she's halfway between where he is on the same highway, so it makes it easy sometimes to just stop and see her. But the last time I went, I think I talked to you guys that I helped her in her garden again, so I'm going to see how that's going. I'm going to go down and see what that looks like, even though it's probably going to be rainy and cloudy and super duper cold. But and also just be kind. Take care, guys, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.